What's up, DB Network? Coach D Magic here, former D1 defensive back, here to give you some tips and tricks, coaching points from this past week 7 of NFL football. Just remember, if you guys want over 100 DB drills to take your game to the next level, make sure you check out the link in the description, thedbnetwork.com. On this first rep, we are this back DB. We're dealing with a stack look, so essentially press the point. We want to play off about 5 yards, depending on down the distance, but 5 yards is the average number. And we want to be patient, stay square, and shuffle so we don't get picked, all right? So once we get this route developing, as soon as that receiver raises his pad level and stutters, we're thinking stay put, squat. We want to drive downhill to the outbreaking route. And we want, in a perfect world, I want us to be over the top here and drive to the in-breaking route. But the pick actually works, forces us to go under. But he does a good job at least staying patient, staying square. And then he's going to put his arm on the hip here and kind of pull himself in position to play the ball with his long arm. All I would suggest is if you do this, you cannot twist the receiver. If you twist the receiver, they're going to call it. But I think he does a good job of not twisting, pulling himself into position and making a play with the long arm. All right, so stay patient, stay square here. On this next play, I don't like when we have to speed turn. It usually means something went wrong with our eyes or our position, or we weren't patient, sorry. But we have to speed turn. So when you speed turn, the first two things you need to be thinking is get your head around as soon as possible so we can locate that receiver and take a high angle. So like baseball, you rather be high and have to come downhill on the ball like he does here, then you want to be low and try to work uphill. All right, so again, speed turning, get your head around first, head around, high angle, drive to the receiver because he'll tell you the new angle. So it could be flat, it could be at a 45 this way, all right, or he could take it high. But a lot of times if they speed turn you, they're going to try to keep it flat to run away from you. So drive, 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 drive. I think our eyes get back a little too early here, but we do a good job of at least getting to the high shoulder of the receiver and then making a play on the ball. Here, we're going to be in the slot. He's going to go with a Scooch technique. So whenever the receiver's in the slot, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be outside leverage because just the percentages, right? So as a corner, most times you're going to be inside leverage, a lot of in-breaking routes. As a slot defender, you're going to be outside leverage, a lot of out-breaking routes. So he's going to go with a Scooch technique. All right, so outside foot is up. We're just going to step, replace. So step, replace, step, replace, step, replace. Not really a back pedal because things end up being quick here. And it could be third down. It could be 3rd and 5. I'm not exactly sure, but here's the first down marker. So that's probably why he's playing so tight here. But I like that he's scooching. And then once the receiver puts that foot in the ground, we know that the break's coming. We want to squat, stay patient, make sure that he is running outside, and then we want to drive to that high shoulder. We get here a little early. It's always easier to see on instant replay, but in a live scenario, I think it's a bang bang play. Scooch, scooch, squat, drive, high shoulder here, makes a play on the ball. On this play, all right, we get a slant route. Good job by Nate Wiggins here. He's playing well. He's just playing behind Brandon Stevens, who's also a really good corner. So he's going to go with a motor technique. The one thing you want to know about a motor or keep in mind, all right, don't raise your pad level. He kind of raises up a little bit. Actually, no, he's good. He's good. It just looks like he raises up. But you want to match the tempo of the receiver. So if the receiver's walking off the ball, you want to be slow in your motor. If the receiver's fast off the ball, then you want to be faster, okay? So match the tempo of the receiver in your motor, stay square. Usually if he walks off the ball, you're probably going to get some type of short route, all right? So stay patient, match the tempo, good eyes here, making sure that it is a slant before we get our eyes back and play the upfield shoulder. All right, so I put this play in here because I want you guys to understand the technique. So in my DB Mastery program, I actually talk about this technique. It's called the pure step technique or patient step technique. So essentially, Impress man, the thing that messes people up the most is because their feet are just out of control. All right, so the pure step, essentially, you're going to take a small step. This is actually a little wide in my opinion, but you're going to take a 6-inch lateral step. It could be inside foot or outside foot. This keeps us square. So no matter what the receiver does, we are going to stay square. We're going to stay in the same position, stay patient with this step. So it allows for you to kind of negate that first move. No matter what he does, stay patient, stay square. Now, when he releases, we can get hands on, all right? And I think we're a little handsy at the top. We grab the jersey, but essentially, I want you to focus on the footwork, step, kick step, all right? Small step, stay patient, stay square. We read the release, kick step, punch. Good drill right here. You don't see a lot of people, or a good rep, I should say, you don't see a lot of people stay square in their back pedal. Again, this could have something to do with the down and distance. I don't like how high he is in his pad level, but one thing I want you guys to focus on is the stem. All right, so the receiver is at the bottom of the numbers, and the stem is when he's angling in his route. So he starts at the bottom. By the time he runs that route, he's at the top of the numbers. So my coach used to always tell me, I would say the 75% rule. Inside stem bring in breaking routes, outside stems bring out breaking routes 75% of the time. Obviously, he can inside stem to an out breaking route, but that's really just one, maybe two routes. Okay, we're talking about the inside stem to the out route, the inside stem to the corner route. That's really it. And we can play the fade from here as well, but I wouldn't really call it an out breaking route. But when it comes to the stem, inside stem curl, inside stem slant, inside stem dig, inside stem post. So essentially, like you Wilhelm, you say, is as a DB, we're playing percentages. All right, so don't give up the in breaking route because you're like, well, he could possibly do this out breaking. Just play percentages. All right, so inside stem, weave, remain inside, and then we want to break at the upfield shoulder here, upfield shoulder that's upfield, high shoulder, to break up this pass, all right? Weave, protect leverage, upfield shoulder, good job. I put this play in here, it's simple, but there's a lot of different ways you guys can play flat as a corner. So essentially, he's going to show press. This is a good disguise. All right, he could be in man right here. So you just want to give the QB different looks. And right now, it looks like we're in a mug look. We got a bunch of people on the line of scrimmage, so we're disguising. All right, so regardless, we know we want to be responsible for a 2 to the flat. All right. It's rare that one's going to run to the flat from here. I mean, he could, but if you have two receivers, you got to be aware of 2 to the flat. If it is a run, we want to force, meaning we want to help out on the run. All right, so on the snap, we want to make sure we have outside leverage. We want to jam one. If one releases inside, he kind of reroutes himself, and a lot of times in the NFL, they don't really jam. They don't really reroute because of the 5-yard rule, but in high school, college, be physical. Protect outside, force the receiver inside. Now we want to take a 45-degree exit angle. So if number one runs a corner or a deep out, we got to be able to sink under to give our safety some time to help over the top. And then we want to make sure we're not out leveraged to the flat, keep our eyes on the quarterback. So now we can play 2 threats. 1, 2, eyes on the quarterback. If he throws to the flat, come downhill. Easy play. And I really like this. I see the Patriots do this a lot, all right? So when you get these backline routes right here, all right, backline, this is the front line. Front line throws are going to be, what should I say? Front line throws are going to be at a lower trajectory as far as like where the ball goes. So think about it. If he runs a slant, they want it to be kind of low. If he runs an outbreaking route, it's going to be on a line. These backline throws are they've got to have some arc to it. So they want to catch it high or, toe tap. But you see how he presses on the hips here, all right? So once he crosses the front line, All right, now we know that it's going to be some type of back line. Maybe even he can break to the front pylon. But you see how he anticipates him wrapping around the back line and he pushes the hips. So now we widened that route. And now we can turn and make a play. All right, so take a look here. Low hands, push the hips. Push the hips, we remain inside. If he goes inside, we slice underneath. If he goes outside, we slice underneath. So those are my tips for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed them. I want to try to get more safety stuff, but it's really, really hard to get the safety stuff this close. But I'm going to do my best to do safety breakdowns. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you want to master defensive back, make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com to get my DB mastery program. Over 100 drills, press man, safety, slot man, speed, agility, weight room program. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and give me some comments on who you guys think is the best corner or the best safety right now through week 7. Thanks.